Bovine spongiform encephalopathy (BSE), commonly known as mad cow disease, is a fatal neurodegenerative disease in cattle that causes a spongy degeneration in the brain and spinal cord. BSE has a long incubation period, about 30 months to 8 years, usually affecting adult cattle at a peak age onset of 4 to 5 years, all breeds being equally susceptible. The disease may be most easily transmitted to human beings by eating food contaminated with the brain, spinal cord, or digestive tract of infected carcasses. However, it should also be noted that the infectious agent, although most highly concentrated in nervous tissue, can be found in virtually all tissues throughout the body, including blood. In humans, it is known as a new variant, VCJD or NBCJD. What actually caused the outbreak of BSE in Britain and ultimately Europe? Friends from the brain of an infected cow can cause the disease in other cows. Because cows normally eat grass rather than each other, you would not expect prion infection to be a problem for cows. However, until recent years, it was the practice in Britain to supplement cattle feed with extra protein. And guess where the added protein came from? Often, from the rendered bodies of cows that had died in the field. It would be difficult to invent a more perfect way to spread the BSE disease. I will be talking about the impacts that the BSE has brought to us. Firstly, I'll be talking about the economical impacts. Although BSE is mainly a beef problem, the fallout from the crisis is starting to impact the whole food chain. This crisis is posing numerous critical questions about the way food is being produced and regulated. For example, the handling of BSE calls into question the nature of the relationship between the food industry and regulators, the way experts are used, especially to quell public fears about health and food safety concerns. And last but not least, the whole topic of risk management and risk communication. Early 2001, it was reported that beef sales in Britain, although in long-term decline, had returned to their pre-BSE levels. The British government only saw fit to announce compensation for the human victims of BSE in October 2000. Although the first announcement of the link between BSE and BCJD in humans was made on March 20, 1996. After a long drawn-out campaign by the families of the victims of BCJD, an initial £1 million is being set aside for compensation. The British government has already compensated farmers to the tune of more than £4 billion. But intensive farming practices are now starting to be seriously challenged. The report of the Phillips inquiry into the BSE crisis in the UK, published in October, clearly identified intensive farming methods as one of the factors contributing to the BSE crisis in the UK. Across the European Union, beef consumption has collapsed, down an average of 27% in January. In Germany, Spain, and Italy, sales have plunged between 40 and 50%. In France, where the large supermarket chains account for around 2/3 of all beef sales, turnover was down nearly 40% at the end of January. The cost to the EU 2001 alone will be at least £2 billion, more if the crisis escalates. We'll be moving on to the social problems. In the February 26 issues of international news magazines Time and Newsweek, both carried cover stories on the BSE crisis in Europe. Time chose to concentrate on how fears of mad cow disease are changing the ways Europeans eat. Newsweek also took a similar storyline, with a headline "Europe Goes Organic" on its cover, suggesting the mad cow mania is spurring a return to natural foods. Both magazines highlighted how there has been increasing consumer demand for organic products prompted by BSE and for non-beef dishes in restaurants. For example, Newsweek reported that since the first BSE reports in Germany, market surveys has shown that the number of self-proclaimed vegetarians in the country had doubled to 6.6 million. The number of Italian vegetarians has risen from 1.5 million to 2.5 million in the past 12 months, 2000 to 2001. As a result of BSE, many people lost trust in the government. One of the results of the escalating BSE crisis had been high-level political calls for new policies supporting an ecological approach to farming and the end of intensive farming practices. Most prominent here has been Germany, Europe's largest food market. In response to the BSE crisis, Gerhard Schröder, the German Chancellor, has created a powerful new consumer protection ministry headed by a Green Party minister to oversee far-reaching reform of the agricultural sector. The new ministry heralds the possibility of a radical ecological approach to food production in Germany, reportedly to the dismay of the German farm lobby. Mr. Schröder said the BSE crisis demanded the reversal of practices dating back decades and a new politics that stands for consumer protection, improved food safety, and natural, environmentally friendly farming. Germany's first case of BSE was made public only as recently as November 24 last year, and to date there has been 31 confirmed cases. The discovery of BSE in Germany came as a profound shock to meat-loving Germans. As consumer panic set in and sales of beef collapsed, German Health Minister Andrew Fischer and Agricultural Minister Karl-Heinz Funke were portrayed in the media as mishandling the BSE issues, and by January 9, the pressure has led to their resigning within minutes of each other. The double resignations, unprecedented in post-war Germany, and the government's handling of the BSE crisis was also seen by some commentators as a reflection of weaknesses in the Schröder government. But the Chancellor reacted strongly by appointing René Künast, a senior German Green politician, as head of the new Super Ministry for Consumer Safety. Künast immediately set her goals as restoring consumer confidence, securing the farming industry's future, and a switch to natural agricultural production. She said that the ministry would argue that farm subsidies should be directed solely at ecologically friendly production. Consumer safety, not the interests of the agricultural lobby, would take priority, she said.